Back in my office for another day of a life in flow. I'm Stasha, the period coach. It is day 20. I am on that cusp of luteal, sliding into deep luteal, perhaps. My parents left this morning. When we got back to the house, we had apple pie, buckwheat porridge for breakfast because I just really wanted it. It was delicious. It's always a good sign that I'm moving into that deeper luteal phase too, when I want like a warm, like porridgey kind of meal. And then I did get some work done today. I did play some catch up and get into some emails and do some of that good stuff. But I also watched the first Harry Potter movie. So, getting close to the end of my cycle. I'll see you back here tomorrow. Guys, I made one of my favorite breakfasts of all time, I think, today, and I wanted to share with you. So I make this incredible fermented buckwheat bread. It's gluten-free, naturally, full of really good fiber, which is exactly what we need in our luteal phase. And if you want that recipe, grab my free food and flow guide, link in bio, hashtag all that nonsense. But this one I made with olives and sun-dried tomatoes and sage and everything but the bagel, and it is flippin' delicious. So for breakfast, I added some avocado and capers and Parmesan cheese and smushed it up together. It's full of good fat from that avocado and of course that good fiber from the buckwheat and the avocado, which is what you need to get the excess estrogen and hormones out of your body so that you don't have things like PMS, fatigue, mood swings, brain fog, and all that stuff that goes along with that time right before you get your period. So go eat this now. Well, go get the recipe, do your fermenting, and start eating it now. Stasha, the period coach here with a day of a life in flow. I have a hunting kitty in the background. I'm not sure what we're stalking, but this should be fun. It's day 21. I'm definitely sliding into deep luteal. I was able to get a bit done today, and I am dealing with the city of Los Angeles taxes. So I did have a pretty strong beginning to the day, but I slid downhill. I did watch The Business of Birth Control, which is produced by Ricky Lake, but more importantly to me, by a friend and colleague, Holly Grigg-Spall, who was the author of Sweetening the Pill, which was the inspiration for the movie, and she's in it as well. And I even make a very, very brief appearance. So it was very cool to see that and to be able to support her. And it's up for one more week, so you should definitely let me know if you want the link. Yay! Welcome to a day of a life in flow. I am here to chat about deep luteal, which is where I am right now today. I had a long day. I had 3 clients and 2 period coaching school co-working calls that I hosted. And I am in deep luteal and I have endometriosis. So it's a phase that, well, it normally should feel a little bit like you're drifting into the mists of Avalon. For me, it feels like you are in the thick of the mists of Avalon. So fortunately on the cusp enough that I could really be present, but also I had to come up with some imagery for our period coaching card deck that we're doing the Kickstarter for. And boy, it was tough to get my brain to like shift gears into that project, even though normally visually creative stuff is the easiest in this phase. So just a challenging day all around, and that's okay. I'm gonna go rest after this. Mwah. Day 24 of a life in the flow. I am in deep luteal, those just few days before your period, where if you have PMS, a hormonal imbalance, not a phase of your cycle, you may feel some mood swings, cramping, tenderness, fatigue, brain fog. There's over 100 symptoms of PMS, so it's, can't list them here. But if you have a hormonal imbalance, you'll feel it in this phase likely the most, the first. Endometriosis brings its own challenges in this phase, so very what I call hollow bones, when it's like moving, everything feels heavier, like, oh boy, my arm is suddenly 1,000 pounds and I couldn't possibly lift it. I had an EFT session with my practitioner, which is good, and I took a hot bath, and I worked on the sales page, creative stuff a little bit today for Flow Freedom. I love that program. Yeah, and now I'm gonna go to bed. Mwah. Yesterday was day 1. It was a doozy. Today is day 2. I may or may not be back to share today or tomorrow.